your brain and basically osmosis. Okay, so obviously, what's this developing? It's a skill to play. Okay, if we know Joseph Chilton Pierce, we know the first part of the brain that's born in the womb is going to be the right of the brain. What do we associate with the right of the brain? It's creativeness, imagination, higher faculties, essentially, right? So then we might go to, okay, well, Kevin, okay, we got faculties, powers or properties of one's mind. Okay, we got physical functions, imagination, will, perception, intuition, reason, and memory, right? Cool. They're all things that people generally don't have a lot of willpower. People, memory, they're going away. And then we got perception and imagination. So in children that went to actually Steiner schools, funnily enough, they were way more empathetic to people and like aggressiveness than people that went to traditional schools because their perception and faculties were higher because that's what Rudolf Steiner schools invite essentially the students to develop rather than like this is this. So I think at age 9, 10, that's when kind of like linguistical and mathematical languages in the head start to develop more. So again, that's when it's brought in rather than like prematurely at a very, very young age, right? So anyways, where am I getting at with training the brain? Okay, so you kind of go, well, okay, I got some context, and then it's like how to, it's applicability, and what's my personal experience. So my personal experience with this is you operating a character of being inquisitive, being questioning, being who has led me to believe this particular thing, why would they want me to believe that particular thing, right? Are very, very much questions you want to ask in life, right? Because if you don't, then you're just flowing about, aren't you? You're not really conscious. You're just going through the motions. And that's what most people feel like. So what I'd invite you to do is get something in your ears. If it's reference groups of basically creating environments around you that support what you would like to go towards. Okay, so what that may look like for you is, right, if I have books that are about the subconscious mind and I know that my brain to my eyes is like a projector of my reality, then my perception of reality is what's in here, really. So, isn't it? So, is that what I've been conditioned through conventional wisdom, wisdom, and then it's getting conventional results, right? So then you might ask yourself, well, if I went to unconventional wisdom, I would get unconventional results. And then just think to yourself, right, who are the top XYZ in this field? And then are they people that I would like to have the results of? Okay, cool. If they are, okay, awesome. Go for it. Have a look and make those people your reference group. Get super familiar with those things. Okay, so for example, it could be Rudolf Steiner, it could be Paul Check, it could be Joseph Chilton Pierce, it could be Joseph Murphy, it could be Bob Proctor, it could be all these other heads, right? And then you just enamor yourself with listening to their books, reading their books physically, walking and listening to them through Audible, through YouTube, whatever it might be. And then that's you having a walking reference group of an environment, because the environment is you planting the seeds of basically these dialogues going through you, or the words going through you and through your system, and just imagine like a magnet. Like you're just gonna pick up some more. Some will go away to waste, and you forget about them. But the whole thing is when we bring repetition of these reference groups of things that we want to ascend towards again and again and again. That's like the food through the subconscious mind. Okay, for you to download and have osmosis of things is generally through repetition. So it's like, go to school, sit down, sit down, sit down. One leader at the top, boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. No, don't share stuff, or don't work in groups. You should be singular. Should be singular, right? Like maybe you don't see it that way, but that's actually what school does, and basically is right. All right, cool. So you got that model, right? Then you got the Steiner model that I put out first. So, obviously, if I went through years of doing this versus years of doing that, you create completely different schools of thought and being and perceptions and memory and skill bases. So, again, more than likely, if you're watching this, you can design it yourself. But you're like, well, how do I do that? All right. Let's get a dartboard that you're going to throw effort, days, hours, minutes, seconds, thoughts, ideas towards. It could be a physique. It could be knowing about a particular topic. It could be like aquaponics. It could be how do I develop a psychoponic environment that that is fertile towards the goals that I'd like to achieve. What is what are my beliefs around a certain thing? Okay, now a lot of this is going to be bringing you outside the comfort zone. Now, feelings of verifying that you're changing is probably getting anxious, probably feeling like, "Whoa, this is weird," or "Hey, let's not just let's just not do this." Now, obviously, that's a very calculated thing to say. Let's do it or not do it. Of course, um, a lot of context to do with that, but in general, what I'm saying is, don't batter it. Don't like dismiss things are not gonna feel the way they should have, whatever that should be. My thing would be that it is it's going to be feelings that come up, and it's your perception of those feelings, and it should be, yeah, that's normal. If it's, yeah, that's normal, then your perception of what's happening is a lot dwindled down. Okay, so if you prep someone that this is going to be bad news, they'll receive it in a way better way than you just dumping it on them, because you preface that thing. So I'm prefacing change to you as it's normal to feel weird. It's normal to feel like, oh, what am I doing? Okay, but then how do we subside that as much as possible? How do we put that and park it to the side? And it's, if it can be a motivating factor for people, it can be a dismissive factor to just go back to old habits, old comfort zones, which they're trying to step out to. Okay, so it's very much training the brain to operate on new habits of behavior is like a switch. So the response to the switch was a trigger, and then that went forward, right? So I put energy for that switch to go on. Then the light can come on for the response of turning the light on, or the response can go to turning the red light on instead, right? So let's just say the current light that you're turning on is not going to the gym, okay, but you want to turn on the light and the pattern of going to the gym, or you want to turn on the light of reading a book. Okay, cool. So what happens when you get the trigger to read the book and the internal voice? Let's go get it. All right. Let's make it as easy as possible. You want to make it as frictionless as possible. You want to systemize training the brain. Okay. So if I was doing these videos and then I could talk to you and then I was doing juggling, obviously my thought process is a bit lower, but I'm still training a higher faculty, because what is this? This is play and skill development that's going on. Okay. So again, I'm training my brain. You should be training your brain, because if you don't, then your brain doesn't have a stimulus to create and stimulate neuroplasticity. Okay, so stimulate it as much as you can. My thing is, who's told you that? Oh, you're working too hard, or you're doing this, whatever. Working too hard. What's that? You define it. Okay, don't let someone else do. If you get overburn, okay, then no, there's yang, there's yin. The yang is that you got the flame to go after results of, okay, Kevin, I've applied this reference group material that I'm listening to all the time of my friends. Okay, do they serve the goals that I'd like to get to? Is there other groups I'd like to entertain in real life and real relationships that are not just people through books and let's say audiobooks and podcasts? Okay, cool. How could I put myself into a situation that would like that? Is there hubs of people? Is there language exchange? Is there dancing? Is there salsa? Is there people that from other countries that would be at those places that you'd like to interact with and be with? Yes, there probably is. Is there martial arts that you'd like to do? Probably. Is there sports you'd like to do? And people that would think like doing those things. Is there people that don't drink alcohol or drink alcohol? Okay, if I want to go to the club that drinks alcohol and I want to be around those people, obviously I know to go to the pub, go to the nightclub. If I want to go to something that isn't, then I might go rock climbing, I might go hiking clubs, I might go walking clubs, I might go running clubs, I might go to these other fitness oriented things, because more than likely the energy of which I'm bringing out invites the energy of those other people to be in those environments. So that's the same for you. So don't feel like, oh, no one else is doing this, or I don't know about this change. Well, you decide. You decide how much longer you want to be in this position that you've been in, because obviously from what you've been doing, you've been getting a current set of results with the brain, and you will need to expand this awareness from maybe what you're operating is like 1 out of 20 vision to 20/20 vision, right? And I use this example of a mechanic. Okay, both of us might be looking at this problem and the mechanic will look at the problem. Okay, we're not both mechanics here, and there's something wrong with the car. Okay, and it needs to be fixed. Now we could try and put on some YouTube videos. We try to figure it out, but or we could kind of go to someone that knows exactly what they're doing and can diagnose it and actually fix the problem. Okay, so that's the same kind of thing we need sometimes when we're stuck in this jar of not being able to change. We can have an observer to help us do that thing. So that observer has a higher awareness to a particular thing that you're going at. Okay, so it's thinking higher than you are, because the same thinking that got you into the problem that you currently have is the same thinking that you're trying to solve this problem with that doesn't actually happen. Okay, maybe through higher faculty training or training the brain, it may happen. But the thing is, and ultimately about this message is, you outsourcing to get ideas to help invite a higher level of life experience. Okay, because people go, oh, it doesn't matter what I do. No, 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 no. What matters is the density of experience you compact into life dictates the life that you had. It's not the amount of time, it's the density of which you compacted into that time determines it. Because if you're seeking to be a high achiever or seeking to get more out of life than the kind of conventional results of which people are getting, then I would invite you to really, really question things of, what do I believe? Why do I believe this? Who told me to believe this thing? What sort of standards do I put on myself that, oh, I study for 3 hours, that's enough? And then who put that rule in? Did I put it? Is that my rule book or is that someone else's rule book? Is it that I go to the gym once a week? Is that in someone else's rule book or my rule book? Does that yield the results I'd like to see in myself and feel confident in my body and perform and maybe, you know, just be a better version of myself? Okay, is that standard really enough? Well, it's kind of like we always fall to our standards. We don't rise to our standards, we fall to them. So you might want to put that in a brain building way for yourself, because again, the more that you train this, let's say you go brush your teeth with your left hand. Okay, that's one start. That's it. That's super freaking easy. That's a win straight away. Train my brain. I'm gonna throw some balls. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fail. Fail. That's actually a very, very interesting term. Failure does not exist, because for you to do something, you have to get results. So you took an action towards a certain outcome, a certain thing, right? Now, the thing that you did had a success scene towards something, and you got a result. So to me, that was action taking, getting results, whether it was not ideal or less effective or disadvantageous or advantageous to get that result. That is those are the metrics I'd use. I wouldn't go, that's complete failure and then go in a shame, and that doesn't serve you to be in shaming yourself, right? What serves you is to go, okay, that was feedback I got. Now I can look at the criteria and look at the feedback that I got and the result that I got, and then I can go and say to myself, well, actually I could change that to enhance it to this other thing. So again, what I'm getting at is ideas basically birth and pull the dormant emergence that lie within your genetic codes and codes of the universe and unified consciousness that you can freaking pull up and pull into your brain and pull out. But you need a stimulus. The stimulus could be the books, the stimulus could be the people, the stimulus could be the conversation, the stimulus could be you in meditation, the stimulus could be you playing, the stimulus could be you be walking and it causing lateral thinking to come about. But the whole thing is train the freaking brain, because everything's an interconnected system. The more you take care of this, the better everything else essentially gets. Okay, and you're gonna look at life and go, "Frick, man, I did something there. I really freaking did something." Okay, so go after life with training to get a higher sense of consciousness, higher senses of awareness, and then you will in turn get way better results than you've been currently getting. More than likely, if you're happy with the results, keep with the results. If you're not, think differently. Again, Albert Einstein's quote of, the same thinking that got you into that problem will not get you out of that problem, right? So you need different thinking, right? um Otherwise than basically everything that I've said, the ultimate message is just feed your brain so it can feed the plants of which you want to plant for your future, right? And imagine that's a garden, and then you're watering that every day or giving it the nutrition it needs every day. 15 pages of book, podcast, action up. I'm going to be more of a builder than a consumer. Okay, cool. I'm going to build videos on YouTube and I'm going to go every single day. Or I'm going to put my standard to be one video per week that's high quality, or whatever standards you put on, right? Then you're training the brain, you're training the behavior, you get new set results, and again that will spiral up and up in complexity more than likely, or just get more simple, because the more repetitions you get, things generally get simpler. But again, also new layers of the onion that you're pulling to your potential open up and invite themselves to be explored by you, whether it's you to take that invitation or not. That's all the way up to you. Yes, best luck in this journey. Train the brain, feed it, osmosis, reference groups, get it going, and yeah, there's no point in staying in the same position and staying mentally shackled.